against Copenhagen at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In terms of the injury news, what have we got?
So, Frank confirmed that, Kudus and Spence both didn't train yesterday, and so there are doubts for the game tomorrow. He said, though, they could and should be available, so that's positive. But the fact they weren't in training, that kind of tells me they're not going to start to me. But they should be available. The other absentees, Bergvall is going to miss the next two. So tomorrow in United with concussion protocol. Dominic Solanke isn't going to be seen to after the international break. Dragashin set to play in a behind closed doors friendly during the international break, so he's going to be out. And then other long-term absentees, Kulusevski, Madison, Davis, Basuma, Kota, unavailable.
All right, so let's get into this predicted lineup. I think 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-3-1 as per usual. In goal will be the main man, Vicario. I don't think we can play a game without Vicario at this moment in time because Kinski didn't do himself any favours in the Carabao Cup game, and Vicario just every game is saving us. So I think he pretty much has to play every game.
Do you agree he's keeping the pressure off Thomas Frank at the moment with some of his performances?
Well, yeah, to be honest, because if it wasn't for Vic, we would have got absolutely battered at Monaco. We would have got battered against Chelsea. The game in between that as well, you know, he did himself a lot of favours. So Vicario is our top performing player at this moment in time.
Absolutely, yeah. He's been the last 4 games is probably the best one he's ever been in the Tottenham shirt. He's been that good. Yeah,
for sure. And it's like that's on the back of like some really poor form from him as well. So it's great to see him back on form. So that is the goalkeeper. Right back, I think it's going to be Pedro Porro again. I don't think we have many options.
It's going to have to be. You can't even have the option of Gray as well.
No Gray. Spence is a doubt, so it's got to be Porro.
Yeah, so he has to play. He didn't have a great game, did he, on Saturday? But yeah, he's going to have to play. The Mr. Relentless when it comes to being fit, though.
Yeah. So Porro right back, right centre back. I do think it's going to be a return for Cuti Romero in the back line. Very much a welcome return. You saw he had a really good impact when coming on against Chelsea. I thought he was one of the only outfield players to actually perform well. So Romero's back in.
Yeah, and I think it was quite telling that Frank felt the need to bring him on. Like we needed, right? I don't think the game, we were watching the game, it screamed out for a centre back, but he felt like we needed to bring Romero for the team. So that just goes to show how important he is. So yeah, I think he starts.
Yeah, I mean he was up front half the time he was on. Left centre back, Mickey van der Ven. I think he comes straight back in. Obviously, he was one of the players that had to go into Frank's office to apologise for that after-game altercation. But he says, book closed, case closed, and we move on.
Yeah, and I think hopefully that we can put that behind us, and so can they. And yeah, he's going to be needed big time in this game. So Van der Ven for sure comes in.
Left back, I think, again, only one option, in my opinion, which is Destiny Udogie, which will also be a welcome return. Couldn't really get into the game when he came on against Chelsea, but I think this will be much different.
Yeah, and I think he's provides such a different threat to Spence when he's there. Spence obviously has a knock, so he needs the game probably to be on the bench. So yeah, I think even if Spence was fully fit, I might go for Udogie anyway. So yeah, Destiny plays.
Now moving on to the midfield.
Is it again going to be the dreaded the dreaded pivot? Well, we don't have Bergvall, so we can rule him out.
Yeah, so it's between. For the two sitters, it's between Sarr, Bentancur and Paulinho. That's all we got,
Gray's obviously Gray's out as well. Yeah, so it's those two. So, I mean, Sarr didn't exactly cover himself much glory either.
I think it will be Paulinho and Bentancur, to be honest.
They're just the tried duo.
Or it could be, at some point, surely Bentancur is going to need a rest, or one of them is going to need a rest. Because they're just playing every game. They're just playing every game.
They've started, 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row together?
Is it not more than that? Is it not more than that?
And they're working very hard. I'm just trying to see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
since
9,
Boda.
10, 11.
Since Boda.
Yeah, Bentancur's actually started 11 games in a row since the West Ham away game when he was on the bench.
I think we don't really have a choice in this one.
Well, we do have a choice.
Well, I guess we do, but you say that. I don't know about Javi starting. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I think Bentancur and Paulinho will start for sure. Yeah.
Okay, go for them. I got a slight feeling maybe it will be Sarr and Paulinho, but every time I say that, it ends up being Bentancur and Palhinha anyway. So let's go Bentancur, Palhinha.
Now, the thing is, obviously, in the 10, the natural one would be Xavi. But the thing is, he did say after the game there was a reason Xavi wasn't in the lineup. And I think he was implying physical reasons. And he needed a bit of a rest. And he's been playing. I think he started 2 games before that, didn't he? So is it a case of just necessity? You just got to start him because we have no one else? Or, Stars played in the 10 before. Do we put him there?
Yeah, I think he was talking about coming up against a very aggressive and physical Chelsea midfield. And, we know Moises Caicedo is incredible. Who did they have alongside? Enzo Fernandez as well, very physical midfielder. I think this is opportunity for Xavi to have a good game against Copenhagen, a team that he should really be dominating. So I think it will be Xavi.
Yeah, I think he has to start. We're just not going to have anything creatively if he doesn't. So I think he's going to have to start him. Yeah.
So Xavi in the 10, right wing, I think.
Could he go Xavi on the left and Sarr in the middle?
He could, but I think it will be Xavi in the 10. I think it will be Xavi in the 10 and Odegaard on the left, because Odegaard as well hasn't started in a while.
Yeah, and obviously he had a knock. So it's going to be Odegaard, I think, on the left-hand side.
And on the right, I think it's going to be Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson coming in for Mohamed Kudus, who's a doubt. I think Kudus will be on the bench, and it'll be an opportunity if things aren't going well that we can bring him on.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think Brennan... I thought when he started on the right those 2 games since Newcastle Everton, a bit better from him, but he was painful when he came on against Chelsea, I thought.
Yeah, he was, but we know that's Brennan. But he can pop up with a goal at any time, can't he? So that's Brennan on the right. Up front, Richarlison ain't doing himself no favours at the moment. Muani, we just couldn't even get the ball anywhere close to Muani on the weekend. So I think he's going to persist with him, though. Obviously, we know Matisse Tell can't play. Solanke's out.
Could it purely just be a rotation thing? He played Muani on the weekend, plays Rishi, because Muani's probably going to start against United.
Mm-hmm. But then he gets a nice 2 weeks off because I doubt he's in the French squad. So I think persist with Muani, get him up to speed with the way he wants to play. He hasn't had that many minutes in a Spurs shirt. I think Muani will play.
All right, we'll go with Muani. Randall, Kolo.
And it's important as well for Muani to just get a goal, get his account up and running for Spurs.
Yeah. The only thing is he fit enough to start 2 games in a week? That's my only concern.
Yeah. He hopes so. I really hope so, but we don't know. He didn't mention anything about that, did he, in the press conference? So, got to assume that he is. But this is the lineup that we are going for. Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro right back, Destiny Udogie left back, Romero and Van de Ven back together at centre back, Palhinha and Bentancur with Xavi in the 10, Odegaard on the left, Brennan on the right with Randall, Kolo, Muani up top. The dreaded score prediction.
I know we're in bad form and I know we're not playing well at home, but actually Copenhagen are not doing well this year, so I'm hoping that plays in our favour. I'm going to go with a 1-0 Tottenham.
1-0?
1-0.
I think there needs to be a reaction from the team in this game. There has to be a massive reaction. I think there might even be some tactical tweaks from Frank in this game as well. And I think we're going to look a lot more dangerous. So I am going to go for 3-1.
3-1.
3-1 to Tottenham with Muani. I predicted this last week, but against Chelsea. But this time it's actually going to happen. Muani's going to get his goal. So I'm going 3-1 to Spurs. Let us know your score predictions and predicted lineups in the comments section below.